Today's video is made possible through the support of Scott Savage and dozens of other people just like you. Check out the links below in the description and see how you can get involved. Thank you.
Hi there guys, I'm Chris Boden and welcome back to The Bench for Electronics Episode 9. Today, finally, I know one or two of you have occasionally commented something about when you're going to do high voltage again, when you're going to make a Tesla coil. Well, I have a nice compromise for you because today we're making this. There's you can scan that to get details. This is the A37-08. I don't know, something there is a fucking model number, I'm sure. But it's a Tesla coil. Look at that, it's so cute. So we're going to build a Tesla coil today. This is the tiniest, cheapest, most complete piece of shit Tesla coil I've ever built in my entire life. But it's going to be a hoot. We're going to have some fun with this. So if you want to follow along at home, there's the exact model. And if you really want to follow along at home, I'll put a link to it in the description. You could build one of these. You could absolutely, look at this, it's so cute. That's the whole damn thing. Also, after spending the past several days learning about surface mount technology, you'll notice there is no video on that unless you're on the live streams. It's nice to be able to solder things at the macro scale again, so I'm pretty happy about this. So what do we got? We got a circuit board, an LED. Okay, so this is the coil. Like I gotta think I don't even know what the hell we have for a primary coil. Do we even have a primary coil? Do you even resonate systems, yo? All right, so, oh God, that's gotta be like 40 gauge. Shit, that's tiny. Whoa, look at that. Wow, this is gonna resonate up in the megahertz. For reference, the last big Tesla coil I worked, well, the last Tesla coil I worked on resonates at about 150 kilohertz. So this is a little high frequency wheelie. So yeah, that's a thing. And I gotta think that it sits like that. So why the hell is there an LED in the bottom? Maybe that's a feedback feed. The T is for like an antenna. So T for antenna. We got a little power plug. Doesn't give me anything to plug into it. So just a couple resistors here that appear to be the same. So, you know, they just, whatever. We got a couple LEDs. We have, you are a neon light. Why the hell do we have a neon light? Okay, I'm interested. And then we got a couple little caps, which are 105 and one, so those are the same. And the 105 is a lie. That's a 10 to the 5th. I think that's a 10 to the 5th. And then we've got, what are you? That's a 8 Delta 24 3 Charlie. I don't know what that is, but we'll figure it out. And then we've got this thing. That's a heat sink with pins. So it's a solder-on heat sink. That's cool. And we got a little button. Latching button. Some bent pins. We'll fix that. And then the rest is just hardware. Some nuts and bolts and standoffs. And oh, no nuts. Just 4 little screws, 1 big screw, and 4 standoffs. Let's get those where you can see them. Okay. So, let's figure it out. How hard can it be? Let's look at the board and see what we can intuit off looking at the board. So here, all right, so it's pretty obvious that a big chunky thing goes here. So we got that, which means the thing that needs the heat sink is going to go there, with its back to the heatsink. So we've got that worked out. That's easy. And I'm willing to guess that the big screw is to mount that to there. The switch obviously goes here because that's S1 SWA. SWA! Okay, so that's cool. We got that figured out. We've got, that's a symbol for a capacitor, 105. So one capacitor goes here. Now this says 10K R1, so it's probably one of the resistors. And then I've got minus plus line. DC005. So this probably goes, like I'm looking at the bottom, and it probably goes here, like that. Okay, so that makes sense. Now over here, we got the D1 LED. I got a couple LEDs here. So we put an LED in there. That's easy to figure out. I don't know where the other LED goes. And I don't know what T is. I also have more parts than I have spots to put them. But let's solder up what we know, and then we'll figure out what we don't. Okay? We'll take this one step at a time. Now I should put some thermal paste on here. Some like Arctic Cool. But I don't have any Arctic Cool thermal paste. So that's just going to have to suck it. But what I am going to do is bolt this together at this stage. Like I'm going to do that first. Because I don't want to have that fight while soldering on the board, because that would suck. Which one's the bigger one? You're the big one. Okay, the tiny one's inside. Everybody remember that. Next time I reach for this tool, the tiny one's inside and the big one's on the outside right now. Yeah, it'll work. Okay, so we're going to put that together thus. Big Clive does it better. Big Clive doesn't have these problems. There we go. No paste, no goop, no nothing. Because really, how much energy do you think is going to go in here that this is going to actually have to dissipate any? So just to line everything up while I screw it together, I'm going to actually stab this through the board. And put all my pins through the board. Get in there. There we go. Okay. So just by stabbing it through the board, that holds everything in position. And then I can just tighten it. I actually need a bigger screwdriver. I got a big damn screwdriver right over here. Oh yeah, that's perfectly appropriate for scale. And then we'll just tighten that right the way down. Okay, it's fine. Everything's fine. All right, so that's cool. Let's put this on our little stand. I think I'm going to upgrade my stand. I want to get the Finalizing one for a lot of stuff. I see the cooler kids on the internet with their Finalizing stands, and it makes me want to upgrade. So we're gonna. That's where I want to be, right about there. So that's where I want to be, right about there. Yeah, I've seen the gray circular Finalizing stands with the big weighted base, and I'm like, I could do that. I could be that cool. I could be one of those kids. So we know we're not gonna do anything here for a while. So I'm just gonna bring that right on in. Right about a moment while I fuck around like an amateur. Oh wait, I'm an amateur. Sparky says that circuit is known as a Slayer exciter. Hi there, Mr. Rickenbach. Hi there, Shortwave. Okay. All right, so we've got, god damn, that's a good shot. It's a fucking amazing bit of cinematography there. Do you tingle with anticipation? I sure do. All right, so we've got this sorted out, but that's huge, and I have little things to do down inside there. So I'm going to move that out of the way for a moment, and we're going to actually start out with that 10K resistor, which I only have 2 resistors, and they both look the same to me, and that's brown, black, red with a gold tolerance. So the other one, come off it. Okay. So the other resistor is also a brown, black, red with a gold tolerance. So that's got to be it. The thing that bothers me is I got more parts than I got places to put them. And that, maybe they're being really benevolent. Maybe they're just an amazing company and they know that the people building these are probably like very inexperienced and maybe kind of dumb. Hi, I'm Chris Boden. Also, I should probably put flux on the proper side of the board. I've been doing surface mount stuff for days, so just bear with me, guys. Surface mount will rot your brain. Get! I know you feel a need to eat each other's face, and that's cool because I remember high school, but I'm trying to make a video here. All right, so our board is completely fluxed. All right, we're going to start with the resistors because it's tradition. Now, my slot there is really close together, so what I'm going to do is grab a tiny pair of pliers, and I'm going to actually bend this lead like this. I'm going to mount my resistor vertically. You can do that if your slots are too close together. The resistor doesn't care as long as the leads don't touch. So I'm actually mounting my resistor on end like that. So, and I'm just going to put it right down on the board. Bend my wire off, flip that around. The dogs would like you to know that there is danger, great danger. Probably the Amazon guy. All right, so let's solder this one. Wow. So yeah, that's cool. I like soldering big stuff better, and after spending half the day yesterday staring under a microscope to solder SMD stuff, sorry. This stuff's way easier, and holy shit, my soldering's better. That's cool. All right, so there's our first component. Where do we want to go next? Let's do C1. It's tiny, it's easy. All right, well now I got a situation because now my shit's too close together. But what am I going to do with these? So what I'm going to do, I don't know if this is a good idea or not. I really don't know if this is a stupid ass idea or not, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to bring them together like that. And then I'm going to bend it down. Is good? Is good. Is all right. But now they don't even, well, they line up closer than they did. So we'll just, yeah, it'll be fine. Look at that. What do you think? Is that all right? It's all right. Yeah, we can do this. That's acceptable. Look at that. Look at that sexy joint. Oh my God. Are you noticing how much better I've gotten at soldering? You know what that means? That means that you can get a hell of a lot better at soldering really quick. If you just practice, you just put the time in. Look at that. Look at how tiny, tight, and clean that is. Man. Oh, it's like circuit porn. I'm loving this. This is so cool. This is so fucking cool. All right, so now we got to do the switch. Now the switch, I have no idea which way it goes, but I got to think the 3 and 3, like it's only going to fit in one way, but does it matter which way? Probably not. Do I really give a shit? Definitely not. So let's, just cram the fucker. Oh, it doesn't fit my thing. There's a different spacing. So I just got to manually work that in there. From the back to the front. Those look pretty straight. All right, let's spin it around. Okay, I can get those 3 in. What's holding me up here? Let's grab a probe. I need a good, hey, you'll do. All right, no you won't, that's a pain in the ass. All right, let's just grab a pokey bit. So my backs are in. There we go, got it, okay. Way more better. I gotta think you guys can help me with. I'm looking for some really good, like, tool holders for on my desk. Like something I can just, but especially small pliers, tweezers, screwdrivers, shit like that. I need a better organization system for my desk. Send me in ideas of what you've got. Okay, so that's good, and those are a little long, but we'll trim them off. They're on that line of, should I trim it, should I not? When in doubt, hack it off. Okay. That's much better, okay. How's that look? Looks fucking magnificent is how that looks. Goddamn. What skills he has. This man will lead us to an electronics revolution. Soldering like that will save the world someday. Probably has, actually, if you think about it. Clean off my little chunky bits. Those are pretty short. They probably wouldn't have caused any problems, but I just like to keep it tidy. Okay, look at that. Damn! All right, so what's next? Let's do, I think all we got left is the big ass thing and the plug, and there's some shit in the middle, but we'll figure that out when we get there. I'm gonna do the big ass thing. Let's consult the Oracle Sparky. Sparky, what is a 3-pin device? Looks kind of like a MOSFET that's labeled Bravo Delta 243C. It says B19 up on top and has a big F, probably Fairchild Semiconductor maybe? I don't know what the Fairchild logo looks like, but I know they make a lot of chips. So if there's a big F on a chip, I'm gonna guess it's Fairchild. So I gotta fight that fucking thing back in the hole. There we go. Oh, it's in, it's down, it's good. Let's check. Yeah, we're seated all the way down. Let's spin that right around. Okay. Now let's solder this thing. Now we know this is heat sensitive, so what I'm going to do is solder these first. Uh-oh. It's so damn big. There we go. Okay, so those get a lot of solder, and I'm going to do just those two so I can trim the pins off. And those pins are huge, so it's time for safety glasses, sponsored by Avitech. By the way, these safety glasses, I've been raving about these in a million videos. I absolutely love them. If you want to get a pair, I'll put a link in the description. But they're, ow, I'm glad I wore them. So let's just fucking shoot that off across the room. Fuck it. I'm shooting this in my bedroom with carpet. I don't give a shit if there's little sharp pieces of metal shot across the fucking room. It'll be fine. All right, so we want to be on and off of this quick because it's mounted to a big heat sink, so we know it doesn't like to be hot. I'm taking way too long on that. Did I fill it enough? I'm not sure. I'm going to cut the leads off because A, I want to get a better look down in there, and B, the big long leads will act like a heat sink. So now that I know I have enough, let's get rid of all that extra metal. Okay. See how that looks. Oh yeah, it looks good. That looks fine. One furthest away from me, not 100%. So let's get in there. Yeah, that's lovely. I feel way better about that now. Okay, so that's good. And now all we got is the plug. I don't see anything on it. I see D1 LED. I got 2 LEDs and a neon light. Now the LEDs look the same to me. So I'm going to put just an LED. Now we got a plus and a minus. So short lead to the minus. That on there. I finally get to use my YYT3. There we go. I have to break that out on every project just because it makes me feel good. Okay, what the fuck goes there? T. What do I solder there? Just a little piece of wire? Is it an antenna? Huh. Oh, but it bugs me. All right, so this will only fit one way, so we know that goes there. That's tighter than a nun's nasty. All right, so that's in there. We're going to bend those a little bit, as much as I easily can. I'll lean on it with one hand and solder it with the other, and we'll make it work. This is shit, and they don't give me any reasonable amount of solder pad for it. Okay, so that's on there now. Now let's see if I can do it well. I've done it. Can we do it well? Oh, that's better. I've never had to solder the big slot components. That looks all right, you think? Am I supposed to fill the slots? I think I am. I know it's not a really thermally sensitive component, so I didn't mind spending some time on there, but it still freaked me out because I'm all in the SMD mode where it's like, get on, get off, get out. Like ducks fucking. Why you no cut? Cut the fucking, what the hell? Let's do this one first. Okay. Got it? Big, there we go, that's better, okay. All right, oh, there's something. I got shit on my board. Okay, how's it look? What do you think? Sparky says T is the RF ground to the secondary. Okay, I can do that. I do have the small question of how the fuck do I mount the secondary? Do I hot glue this? Also, I gotta find the end of the secondary. Oh, there it is. All right, that's, wow, it's so tiny. I have never soldered a wire that tiny before. But I'm about to now, so the first thing I gotta do is clean the insulation off the wire. Hot glue, all right. I'll get my glue gun fired up. First thing I do is clean the insulation off the wire. Well, we've melted the fucking wire. Oh my god. Oh my god. All right, so our insulation's cleaned off the wire. We're good there. Let me grab a hot glue gun, which I happen to have right here, with no glue in it. Shit. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put our tiny little wire, this is one end of the secondary. It's freaky tiny. I guide it with tweezers through the hole. Okay, so it's in the hole. We're good there, I think. Looks good, feels good, is good. Okay. And we're going to pull that right. Okay, so we're good there. So now we just got to hot glue this down on the board. And I'm going to try and do this on camera and not kill myself in the process. It'd be hilarious if I died from a hot glue gun of all the things. Put a dab over there. Give me some glue. There you go. A big gob over there. Big gob over here. Oh yeah. All the quality of high-end Chinese manufacturing. Okay, so we're glued down. The wire's still in the hole, so we're okay there. I only have a nominal amount of hot glue on my fingers. Okay. Yeah, we are securely attached. And now we just have to solder that wire. It shouldn't be too bad. Where are we at? Okay. Okay. Trim the wire off. Guys, I think that's it. I think we made a Tesla coil. Allegedly. I still have 4 little standoffs and bolts, so I got 4 standoffs, 4 bolts, but only 3 holes to put them in. Here, got 3 holes left. So I'm going to put a bolt and a standoff through each thing. I'm guessing that's just what it sits on. Nine volts. Okay. Did you add the primary? It didn't give me a place to add the primary. I don't see any kind of connection for a primary. So no, I did not add a primary. It didn't give me wire for a primary. It didn't give me a place to put a primary. I'm not familiar with the theory of operation on this, so I don't know if it needs a primary. It might just be driven off the bottom somehow. It can be done. Like two holes marked 1 normally. Did you see 2 holes marked 1? That bolt's different size. Or the standoffs are only threaded on one end. Hadn't thought of that. We'll examine it. If I miss the spot for the primary, we'll find it. We'll get it in there. 3 turns of wire. Okay. It needs a primary. Okay, I believe you. There are no holes on here marked 1. I'm going to take some pictures and post them to Discord, but every hole on here is soldered. Everything has a thing in it. There is no spot for a primary. I'm pretty sure this isn't a true Tesla coil. I'm pretty sure this is just a little thing that works under a different system of operation, and it isn't actually a Tesla coil. For $3, I'm not surprised. But I need to whistle some watts into it. So that's going to be, so the back is my positive and the side is my negative. I'm going to see if I have a plug that fits it. Let me take a quick look. Okay, so we're ready for that when we get there. So we've got power sorted out. Sparky says I need to add 3 turns of wire, and it goes from the plus, other end goes to the transistor. You'll find one transistor terminal with nothing connected. All right, so let's look at our transistor. Here's our transistor, and we have nothing connected on the middle terminal of the transistor, at least on top of the board. Really simple circuit. But we can see there's nothing connected on the top, or on the middle transistors. So here's our transistor here, because those are the big heatsink pins. That middle terminal has nothing going to it. Now if we flip the board over, plus is back here, right? So we'll flip that around. So this is plus. This one is plus. I'm going to mark that with a Sharpie. So that's plus. Right there. Okay. And then that is the middle terminal of our transistor. So we need to set up a primary with 3 turns going from A to B. So I gotta find a piece of wire that I can get 3 turns of primary out of. And the kit didn't come with any. So will I damage this if I fire it up without plugging the wire in? I'm wondering what happens if I plug it in without the primary, like just if it does anything. Huh. All right, I'm going to find a piece of wire and I'll be right back. All right, so I found a piece of wire. This is the generic piece of yellow wire from my 201 electronics kit. It'll work. Now we got to solder to the bottom of the, maybe that's why they have the standoffs there so you can get this out. But I'm going to solder that there, and then we'll come up, we'll do 1, 2, 3 turns, and we'll come off, and I'm going to hot glue that together, and then we'll come off the other side and grab there and solder to that. So we can do this. Oh, most I've seen is 1, 2 turns. Okay, so we'll do 2 turns. We have a lot more wire than we need, but I'm good with that. So I'm going to solder this on here. So we're going back to the holder because I got to do some gymnastics with this shit. Yeah, definitely going to get the Panduit clamp so it's easier to get in and out of this. All right, so we're going to solder our wire right on there on the plus. I'm going to tin this wire. At least as best I can, which is not very good. Let's just put a big old gob of solder on here. It's not going well. So I'll make do by putting a big old gob of solder on the board. Maybe I can tack this in place first. Maybe I can just do that. when in doubt, add some flux. And we'll add some flux to the wire. Okay, we're definitely going to need more solder in there. Okay, so that's on there. I'm going to trim off a little flyer off the end of that. Because that's primary coil form, and we don't want any stray arcs, coronal discharge. Like, is this thing even going to give me any kind of coronal discharge? Allegedly, it's a Tesla coil. But I don't do a lot with solid state coils. This is an area I'm not terribly familiar with. So the Slayer system, that's a new one on me. Sounds like something might be invented by Edison. But I think we've got a decent, I think that connection could be better, and I'd like to make it better. So let's see if we can make it a little better. I don't have a lot to anchor this to, but I think the best thing I can do is just dump some solder on there. Well, I've succeeded in breaking it. But while I'm in here, I'm going to add a lot more solder to that. Which I'm fairly certain is just running out the bottom. Yeah, hey, look, I got a big ass solder blob on the... Fuck. Alright, so I'm not going to get... It's electrically connected, and I'm just going to live with that. Okay, so now we want to go around 1 or 2 turns. So we're just... Oh shit, I know what I do. Fuck, I'm smart. I'm smart. Watch this. I got it all worked out. So I'm going to plug in my hot glue gun, and I have a good electrical connection there. Like I'm fine with that as an electrical connection. I don't have a good mechanical connection. So what I'm going to do is put a big old gob of hot glue right here holding that down, because for what it is, I have a fine electrical connection. I just want it to be better mechanically. So we're going to hot glue it in place, and the hot glue will give me the mechanical connection while the shitty solder job gives me the electrical connection. You hot yet? So let's just, this is the most chunkiest, big ass hot glue gun. There. Just a big ass glob of hot snot. And we'll give that a minute to cool. Now while that's doing its thing, we can take our wire. This is a primary, so I'm going to go kind of low. Most I've seen have 1 to 2 turns. Okay, well that's 1 turn. That's 2 turns, and I'm going to call that good. So now that we've got 2 turns on there, I'm going to hot snot this in place. Oh shit. And I'm just going to keep a little tension on the wire and then add some hot glue. Just basically encase that whole thing in hot glue and let that cool off. And then we'll flip it over and do the other side in hot glue. So now that's starting to cool off a bit. I'm going to rotate the whole dingus around and we'll hot glue the other side. And then just a little tension on the thing, which I can do in the form of this. And we just let that cool off for a few minutes. I'll be back. Okay, kids, we're back. Audio check. Yep, we're good there. So our glue is good. Just gave that a couple minutes. Everything's happy now. So now we bring this around and we got to get this wire to our center pin. So we're going to cut off the extra wire and we're going to be super careful. Do I have that shit ass old pair of strippers? I used to have my old chunky, fuck. All right, we're gonna do this the hard way because I don't see them anywhere. I gotta buy new strippers. I gotta get a nice pair of Nipex strippers up here. Let's take this off the thing so I don't fuck it up. I glued it to the thing. Thank you. Glued it to the thing. All right, so we'll clean the glue off there. So we want about that much. Give myself a chance to make a mistake. One of the lessons I learned in flying model airplanes, and it absolutely applies to electronics. When you're flying model airplanes, especially if you're just starting out, always fly 2 mistakes high. And what that means is fly high enough that if you fuck up, if you make a mistake, that you have the altitude enough to give you time enough to make a whole nother mistake because now you're all freaked out and still recover it. So that's what it means to fly 2 mistakes high. And the same applies if you're doing something like this where you're soldering a piece of wire that absolutely positively has to fucking go right there. So this should be allegedly easier to solder because the other one was dumping through the bottom and this is a tighter pin. So I need a third hand at the moment. Let's bend that way down and tight. so I can pull it up. Put it right there. Okay. Add a dab of flux on here just for the love. All right, so now let's try and get this on here. Is it on? Is it good? Okay. Now let's see if we can do that while adding solder. Well, it ain't pretty, but I think it'll work. We're not shorting anything. It certainly ain't pretty, but it might work enough to get it fired up for the first time. I fully expect this thing to have a life expectancy measured in seconds. Let's give it a shot. All right, I'm going to set that aside. So that's our Tesla coil, and this is our breakout here, and ain't nothing to it but to do it. Patter patter. All right, I'm going to doesn't that middle pin connect to a pad? The middle pin connects to the pad. Yeah, there's a pad, but you'll see. All right, so we're good there. Let's turn our current all the way down. Let's see if she does anything. You ready? I don't know how many amps we're supposed to draw, but I'm giving it 1 amp. And my my neon tube does not light up. Though having an LED, oh wait. So the switch has no effect on anything. I'm going to shut that down a second and grab a set of helping hands for safety, because I've been bit before. And we're just gonna bring this right down in here. See if it do anything. I'm gonna get the lead pretty much touching the output. The safety glasses for when something explodes off this board. And we're giving it, that's 1 amp. That's 2 amps. And I think it's fucked. I think we just let the smoke out of the LED inside it. So that's 2 amps and nothing's happening. All we did was melt down the LED. No output of any kind. Nothing happened. I am disappointed. Oh, it's warm. The heatsink got toasty. We gave it 2 amps at 9 volts, and it pretty much just shat itself. I am neither impressed nor surprised. Yeah, that heatsink got warm. So we gave it 2 volts at 9 amps, and all it did is melt down the D1 LED. So it's shit. It's entirely possible I did one of 20 different things wrong, because there were no instructions for this at all. And I still have a pile of parts left over, but I stuck everything that I had a place to stick it, as is my way. So that's that. That's the first Tesla coil of the new series. 2 amps might be a bit much. You think so? I think 2 amps might be a bit much, which is why I didn't go to 3. So, yeah, that was a thing. It's a cute little dust collector to put on my shelf. I'm going to tuck this in with some hot glue just to secure it. And I'll get you guys some pictures, and they'll go in the Discord momentarily. But that's the first Tesla coil I've built this year. And it's the first little super micro Tesla coil I've ever built in my life. That is easily the tiniest Tesla coil I ever built in my life. And it didn't work. And I'm not at all surprised. So I'll post a link to this in the description, and maybe you can make one work. They're stupid cheap. Like, I have no regrets at all for just melting this down. But I'll post a link in the description. You build one, and if you get yours working, put it in the Discord. I want to see pictures. I want to see your success. I want to see you guys succeed where I failed, because I am the big badass Tesla coil builder of the internet. Some people think this. I don't know. I don't build tiny ones though. I build big ones that, you know, you have to move with trucks. So this is cool. You guys have fun. Thank you for hanging out today. I do appreciate it. And we'll be back for episode 10, where I don't know what the hell I'm going to build next. And we'll figure out when we get there. Thank you for hanging out. Have fun. And as always, we'll see you next time.